Hello everyone. Welcome back for another InGear Motorsport live stream. We're here, believe it or not, for round number 4 already of our 5-round Winter is Coming Championship. Flying through them, aren't we? But we're back with our commentary team here, including our newer addition. We've been lucky the last couple. She's been asleep for most of it, hasn't she? But
yeah, we'll see how.
I think she might be more awake this time.
Yeah.
So if you hear some dog barking in the background, that's what it is. She's just offering her opinion to what might be going on. And before we go any further tonight, you might notice a little icon in the bottom left or bottom right corner throughout tonight for Ukraine. Just I think we'd be wrong to, albeit on our smaller platform we have, to not just mention, that we all stand with Ukraine, and it's awful what's going on out there at the moment. So we're very lucky that we're all safe and able to do this and go sim racing tonight. But it will essentially be a hour-long race as part of the normal format for this series. Slightly longer at the last one, it's 90 minutes. But hour long for tonight with a mandatory pit stop. Hello everyone, welcome back then to Imola, one of those notorious circuits. We've got some fantastic racing lined up for the next hour. The drivers just beginning their rolling up lap. One of those great circuits that people love to race at. A few people hate, but on the most part it's a very loved circuit. So 19 corners, around 3 miles long, and very wet in particular for tonight's race here at round 4 of our Winter is Coming Championship. Let's take a bit of a run through the grid order then. You can see it on screen. It is an InGear Motorsport car on pole for the second time in the championship, but yet to convert to a win. So I'm definitely piling that pressure on Chrissy Palmer tonight to see what he can do. So Chrissy's on pole position, Chrissy Palmer. Dominic Stallman for Vegas Sim Performance, one of the 2 Stallmans competing with us as part of the Vegas Sim Performance team alongside their other teammate Alex Metzger. So Dominic Stallman in P2 with 30 kilograms of ballast, as you can see on the right-hand side. Bjorkman's back after missing a race, holidays last time. You might have just caught the back of his car in that intro video with the Bjork hub on the back. We'll check into that later on. More on that later. But Van Manikes for Spearhead as well, alongside Bjorkman in P5. Akbulut in P6, another great showing by the Turkish driver there. Jachtenberg then demoted down to 7th in the last stages of that qualifying session, but still a solid effort for the Formula L driver. Roden Stallman for Vegas Sim P8, Hemming P9. Ciccone, really good up there for Attack Vector as well. And yes, Arnold, I got Attack Vector that time. I didn't say he's in Formula L. So Ciccone doing well. Drivers are approaching the start-finish line then. We'll be racing shortly. Chrissy's on the left with the dark-coloured car with orange highlights and the red 99 on the roof. Dominic Stallman on the right-hand side in that BMW. Also with the blue and white colours. Then you've got the black McLaren, or sort of grey-black McLaren of Andrews on the left. And then Bjorkman with the sort of turquoisey and black colours on the right behind him. Here we go then, strap in for 1 hour of racing at Imola.
No, this race.
So out then, and off we go. Chrissy actually looks like he didn't get the best of starts. Stallman not much different, but Andrews is off to a flyer, but didn't have anything to do with it to translate it in any kind of move. Bjorkman looks like he's going to have to give way there to Akbulut, who goes round the outside of him. Stallman doesn't manage to get through, but that's a great start by Akbulut, up to P4 from P5 there, so he gains the space already, but Bjorkman's going to take that straight back. You can see at the back end of that sort of shot that we can see at the moment, but Chrissy off to a good start so far. Got himself a tiny bit of breathing room from Dominic Stallman, and I think them two will just make a nice, simple, straightforward start, hopefully from here onwards, just to get their heads down and get going. So let's see what happens here, as Andrews has got a rear view full of BMW and Aston Martin to try and contend with. All the while then, Akbulut having to fend that off, might have to also deal with Bjorkman trying to get through on him as well. So it's a attack or be attacked potentially, and it's looking like Bjorkman's closer than ever here. He's definitely not leaving much room for error at all, as he sits right on the back bumper of the Turkish R&D driver there.
Rally the troops, basically.
That's it, get them in. We see all manner of partners and friends being roped into joining Twitch. We see, and actually Akbulut gets a bad exit out of the chicane. Bjorkman clips the back of him and just spins him round there. Whether or not that was racing incident, it looked like it was at first glance, but the guys will look into that and make a ruling on it in the background. I saw he was getting closer and closer. Akbulut just got clipped there on the exit of the chicane, that one looked like. Also had another incident with Ray on Anderson on lap 1, as Jachtenberg looks like he's going to be the guy to pick up the pieces of this one, gaining 1, 2 and 3 positions in as many corners. We'll see. We've just had a 5-second penalty go to number 42, which I think was going to be Ciccone. Yes, it is.
Qualified around P20, made a few pace ups. He's currently in P16 at the moment, so he's actually not that far.
We could just see Klimpson having a bit of a go at a move around the outside there into turn 1 and gets that done, as Charlotte's picking him up.
Oh, Charlotte. happen.
But you know, he's still in P17. He's on for what I think will be his best finish in the series so far. And then we head into Villeneuve as the second one, and we drop down into the hairpin, which might be a good opportunity for overtaking. I was going to say if you're closer, but Booth then has handily ran a bit wide and given him an opportunity to do so. Hogman has to go on the wetter line. You see how much speed he lost, and you can see that. Look at the track, how it's that slightly darker shade of tarmac in the middle. That's where the dry line is, where the grip is, and you could just see the difference that made for Booth being on that, even though he actually lost the momentum on the way into it. That's one of the things this game does so well, as they go side by side now. Definitely close, neither really wanting to yield. But I think Booth in the end is going to have to, as they then drop down into the double right of Acqua Minerale.
Yeah, I mean, well, both of them actually. That's exactly how you do it. And Booth is now coming under attack from Winkler as well, and I'd say that was quite ambitious there from Winkler, but Booth's managed to stay on top, and you can see Winkler there flashing the lights.
I tell you what, let's go to P11, and while we do, which was Murray just going a bit wide. That was Curran letting them through, I think. But Murray and Hagerbom having a nice little fight. Hagerbom is absolutely flying right now. But while we do that, just quickly, let's quickly bring up the timing screen so people can pick out where their favourite drivers are.
Jesus, the gap between Chrissy Palmer and Stallman, 8 seconds. I don't think I've ever seen 8 seconds be pulled out on Stallman.
You know, in this world, half a second is an age, isn't it? As we see then, Hagerbom pulls out alongside and manages to pull round, and actually Murray not putting up much of a fight there. Murray was the driver of the day at the last race, the Sheba Garage driver. Still, I think one of the most recognisable liveries. That Sheba Garage car always stands out, I think.
Yeah, for sure. Iconic.
Oh, stop and go penalty. Oh my God, no. That's, unless his number's changed, that's Chrissy. Oh, Chrissy Palmer. No. Stop and go penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Ugh, what a nightmare.
Can I just say, Star, Bjorkman is currently P1.
Hasn't pitted yet, though.
Hasn't pitted yet.
Well, there we go. That's it. 10 seconds in the lead, and that little mistake is going to be very, very costly. Whether he can actually come back from that, he would need to now gain 20 seconds. He's already had a 10-second lead. If he can gain 20 seconds, he could do it. So
yeah, what I would say is I don't actually, with his pace that he's got, I don't think that's necessarily unachievable, because he has been so fast this race. So Chrissy's got some serious work here to do now in 18 minutes, hasn't he? So he's gone from P1 dominantly to P21.
The timing system's a bit whack on this sometimes, because it should be, they're all on the same lap as well. Until what? Oh, hang on. Chrissy just got caught out with Winkler there. What happened there in the back of shot? I think he might have clipped Booth and actually waited to let Booth go again, is what happened there. So that's one of the rules, is the gentleman agreement. If you make contact and you don't, then you then give them the space back.
What that has done, though, is allow Murray to get right on the back of them.
Yeah. So this could be a full car fight.
Kevin is on the back of Murray, and he's lapping. So, and this is now actually a really tricky one, because you've got Booth, Palmer, Murray, who in all of their own right are quick drivers, who are now being lapped by Hemming, Fuller, and sorry, I can't see far enough down who the next position is after that to see. But that's going to be quite tricky for them to all sort of navigate themselves around, because Chrissy is way fast enough to not let someone unlap themselves. Another solid set of points that he's going to get. He had a really, really good round last time out as well. So
yeah, he's solid. Oh my God! At the background, that was close.
Yeah.
Was Yachtenberg going through on Anderson? Anderson probably, I think, about 3 or 4 car lengths earlier than Max was expecting, and you just saw an emergency elk manoeuvre there. From left to right back again. How that car stayed facing straight, I don't know, but Max hung onto it and gets past the back marker then. So he's now back onto Booth. He lost a bit of time in that, as you can see. They've got ahead again. But that was close. Chrissy's angry, yeah. That's not spray coming out of that car, that's steam.
Yeah.
From Chrissy's ears. He will be fuming with that, because that was his race. He was out in the lead, had 10-second gap, and that pit penalty gave it away. I just hope for Harry's sake that Chrissy knows that the game issues those penalties, because I think he sometimes thinks that the stewards give him the penalties. Yeah. He rings me up sometimes going, "It's giving me that penalty." It's like, no, that's the track limit penalty. You've got an interesting situation here where Chrissy's just overtaken Ralph Yachtenberg, but he's technically a lap down on him. But you can see actually a bit of a mistake from Ralph there has given Chrissy quite a gap
very close. I think this is going to be the drive of the series.
What, with 7 minutes to go?
Yeah, I think this is the absolute charge of all charges going on now. This is the sit back, people, get your gin and tonic, get your popcorn, and watch and learn how to come back through the grid, because he's just picked off Scotchbred in 2 corners. So his next one is Metzger. So let's see how long it's going to take for that. So we've just done 2 corners there in the time that I've kind of teed this up. So we'll see charge going on, and I don't think he's going to take just one. I think he's going to take yeah, he does it. Yeah, so the next one then is Winkler. So keep an eye out for the green and red Nissan that Chrissy's got the target.
Should we go on board with Chrissy?
Yeah.
Oh, go on board quick. He's just making another move.
Okay, so that's another one. So the next one he's got is Menakes. So he's got nearly 5 seconds, 4.8 seconds that he's got to chase down on Menakes. And Menakes is a good driver as well. So, yeah.
I've just seen on the commentary chat quite an interesting bit of tactics going on, because I just spotted actually in the background that El Andrews is in P2. So not sure, maybe that happened in the process, but Roland Stallman is now P3, and Dom Stallman, I believe, has given him that position from what the guys are saying.
Ballast.
Because of ballast going into the final race. Top 4, I think. So
yeah.
Chrissy gets the run. Chrissy's actually in his delta in the top left, going quicker at the start of this lap with that little bit of toe than his fast lap. Yeah, you can see Dom's car actually. Look at that bonnet.
Yeah.
Got a bit of damage on it, hasn't it?
So who's the next one for Chrissy?
Oh my God, I thought they were going to touch again, but Dom manages to back out of that in time as Chrissy gets a bad exit. And yeah, woo, that was close. Bjorkman then leads this race after a bit of a comeback actually from a few positions higher up than he started, after Chrissy Palmer was on pole position and has now dropped back after that disaster. Dom Stallman's dropped back after his disaster, but not quite so far. So yeah, Bjorkman out front for his second wet race victory, potentially if he hangs on to it. Andrews on his debut race though, fantastic showing by him, and he was under a lot of pressure earlier on in this race, still in P2. Roland Stallman then for his first podium in a very long time, which that would be good to see. Roland Stallman, the other Vegas Performance driver and the father of Dom Stallman, in P3. Bart van Manikes always up in that sharp end of this field in P4, and look at that, Ralph Jachtenberg in P5. Well then, he's competed in 2 of the wet races so far, missed the one in the middle, but technically makes it 2 for 2 in the wet races. Robert Bjorkman crosses the line, takes the win for round 4 of the Winter is Coming Championship. What a comeback through drive from him. And what a disaster for Dom Stallman and Chrissy Palmer. Especially Chrissy will be absolutely, I'm sure, fuming after that race result. But let's focus on everyone else crossing the line then. So P2 will be Andrews coming home for his debut race on the podium with us. Let's bring the timing screen up for people to see as we start crossing the line. Roland Stallman in P3, Bart van Manikes P4, Ralph Jachtenberg about to cross the line any second. So wait for that little checker flag, and then he'll be coming in P5. There he goes. So top 5 all across the line, safe and sound. Dom Stallman also back in, and Hemming, that amazing recovery drive then, gains 11 places from where he started. Let's wrap things up. So thanks very much everyone that's joined. Thank you everyone, and thank you everyone for joining. We will see you in a couple of weeks, and bye for now.